expectation. You know that Asian stereotype where the Asian parents expect the child to do everything, to get the best grades in school, to get the top A in class, to go to the best university, the Stanford University, to go to fly to America. That's a great example of expectation. And I'm not saying that expectation is bad per se. I'm saying that expectation may be holding you back. A few months ago, basically, I dedicated 30 days to abstaining from certain activities, such as watching too much content on YouTube, or such as playing video games, all of these easy pleasures that we find in the modern world, to try and help my brain become less stimulated so that it can think and focus better. And when I was going through these 30 days, I was arrogant because I thought that I wouldn't relapse, that I would never ever get addicted or get stimulated by these things ever again. So I'm doing the 30 days, day 1 goes, day 2 goes, day 3 goes. I finished the 30 days. But then on the 31st day, when everything is doing all fine, when I finally have the access to YouTube, to all these easy pleasures, I go all in, YouTube video after YouTube video. And now my brain is even more fried than before when I first started. And I continued day after day after day after day until I stopped. I stopped and I reflected. I asked myself, what am I doing? Why? Why is this happening to me? I thought that I would never relapse again. I thought that it would be the end of my social media addiction, my YouTube addiction. But I still kept going because I had deprived myself of these easy pleasures for so long. Now that I have access to them, I go all in. And this just proves my point even further. In life, we don't always get what we want, what we expect. When that Asian parent goes and tells her child to go to Harvard, it doesn't always go to plan. The child wants to go find a new career. He would want to go and pursue a guitarist thing that his mother isn't sure of. Things like this always happen whenever we make a plan. No matter how many times we plan it, we make plan A, we make plan B, we make plan C, plan D always happens. And there are really so many times in life where things that we expect go wrong. And the message of this video is not to say that expectations are bad, that people shouldn't have expectations, but that it is inevitable that expectations will fail. And it becomes easier for us to move on if we can accept that as the truth. That doesn't mean that we can't try to make things perfect, to make things go according to plan, but things go wrong. One of the Buddha's first teaching and one of the first suttas, the first discourses, were the Four Noble Truths. And the first noble truth was the truth of ill-being. And ill-being encompasses all of the unwholesome emotions, all of the unwholesome mind states of the human experience. Misery, jealousy, anger, greed. The truth of ill-being just means that ill-being is inevitable. The second noble truth is the cause of ill-being, the origin of ill-being is desire. The desire to make things go according to plan. Because we want to become a STEM engineer, we become sad because we don't become a STEM engineer, because we failed the job, because we've failed the job interview. Because we want this to happen, we feel angry when this thing doesn't happen. Even if somebody is rude to us, we want that person to not be rude to us. That is why we feel angry. All of the misery, all of the suffering, all of the ill-being is fueled by the desire for things to be right, of the desire for things to be according to plan. The third noble truth is that there is a way out of ill-being, that ill-being is not needed in life. Ill-being is there, but it is not necessary. To experience suffering is inevitable, but to feel it is optional. And that brings us to Buddha's fourth noble truth. The way to escape the cycle of ill-being is through following the teachings of the Buddha. And so I don't want to get into this. There's this whole eightfold path to show you all of the teachings, but this video's message is simply expectations. There are a lot of teachings of Buddhism, and I highly recommend those. But the message of this video is simply that we will never get everything we want. So expect, so try hard, so try your best to get those A's. But when those A's don't come to you, when you don't get the good grades, when you don't win the race, don't worry. Because when you worry, when you become angry, it becomes easier to fall into ruts. into deeper holes. Have the humility. Expectations will not always go according to plan, and that is okay. And when we can have that humility, our life becomes much more fulfilling, and everything else becomes much more easier. We become much more happier. Hope you like this video. I actually didn't have a script at all for this one. I went by my mind. If you want to become a person of character, I have a Discord server down below. I'm actually broadening my range, not just to young men, but to every young person in general, because I think that my content would be relevant to not just young men, but also other young people, other teenagers. So stay focused on the present moment, join the Discord server down below, and that's all.